This is the book of Micah chapter 2 verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. It's the book of Isaiah chapter 10 verse 1. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. This is the book of Proverbs chapter 4 starting at verse 14. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil man. Verse 15. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, and pass away. Verse 16. For they sleep not, being these wicked people, these wicked men, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. Book of Obadiah chapter 1 verse 4. Verse 3. The pride of thine heart. I'm going to start at verse 2. Obadiah chapter 1 verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. Verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Verse 4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Kol Haloyim, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Chagodas Rakatham. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth with faith and sincerity, and risking their lives as well as their freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is an edifying video. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you, I say shalom. It's the brother Yahweh South out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant coming at you with another lesson through the spirit and through the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And basically, I was going to do a quick lesson. I was watching, there's a guy on YouTube named Papa Duck. And basically, I guess he's like in the music industry or whatnot, but for whatever reason, the spirit's on him to reveal some truth. Now, he's not in the truth. I've never once heard him speak about the scriptures, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, or anything, but he's more like one of those Edomites, those whistleblowers that give out information, you know what I mean? For the most part, the spirit on him, he brings out some decent information, and so I'm bringing out information that he kind of went into on his channel. But the thing is, it's relevant. So without further ado, I'm going to get this video. Bear with me for a second because it's a copywritten video.
I'm vegan, Walter.
This is me using my face to get into a convenience store in China where you can buy food through facial recognition technology. Using your face to buy food is already a reality. Here's one system that KFC and Chinese search engine giants Baidu implemented in China. KFC's system even remembers your face and food preferences, so it can better recommend you new products. Much like KFC, this convenience store we visited in the city of Shenzhen has partnered with a tech giant, in this case, the payment app WeChat Pay, to create an experimental face-to-food experience. The store, Soheya, encourages people to play and pay with facial recognition technology. With just your face and a simple thumbs up, the system will deduct money from your linked WeChat account. Picking my mobile payment, my facial recognition juice.
I don't get this.
This may feel very dystopian, but facial recognition has apparently been a welcomed advancement in big cities in China.
So in China, the face recognition is quite popular. In some scenarios, we try those face recognition techniques. So you don't have the need to bring your mobile phone anymore. You simply show up and you take things away, and it will directly be deducted from your account.
To grasp how close China is to making facial recognition a reality, you first have to understand how close they already are to being a cashless society. Much of this has to do with WeChat Pay and its competitor Alipay, which both use QR codes to complete transactions. According to Professor Ouyang, in 2017, mobile payment transactions in China added up to 20 trillion US dollars, almost double China's annual GDP. WeChat is what's known as a super app. You can send money, text friends, make dinner reservations, and much more all in one space. And this makes WeChat indispensable to everyday life.
即係話我哋咧，大部分人都係用緊微信。微信支付咧係個好神奇嘅嘢。
This is my cousin, a Shenzhen native, and I roped him in to give us his perspective on how ubiquitous WeChat has become.
我平時出去都唔帶銀包㗎啦，銀包太大隻啦，冇手機咁方便。我手機可以代替到銀包所有功能。
QR codes, WeChat Pay, and Alipay have become the norm.
你可以喺路邊停車嘅時候交費，或者你甚至可以處理你嘅交通違法。
These payment apps are so powerful that they have the potential to replace banks for the users.
For example, you can move money on your WeChat app. If I press this, they will evaluate your credit profile.
This amount is the equivalent of an $8,000 loan. WeChat has become so ubiquitous in China that many people prefer it to traditional banking, despite these loans being backed by actual financial institutions. Analysts in China predict that about 40% of those transaction fees could go to payment apps like WeChat by 2020, leaving China's banks in a scramble.
The bank are annoyed because they only see numbers of money goes to Alibaba, go to WeChat. Those bank senior officials talk to me, considering different ways of how to compete with those new institutions. And so far, they don't come up with very good ideas, but we're still trying.
With the wide use of QR codes and mobile payment apps, Professor Ouyang sees facial recognition as the obvious next step. But convenience is just the silver lining in what could be a sophisticated form of mass surveillance. Already in Shenzhen, facial recognition is being used to catch jaywalkers. 3 fugitives were caught at massive concerts this year.
So that's one of the reasons why I did this video, because the guy Papa Duck was saying how he read an article or came across some information where basically it was a guy, pretty much the same situation in China. He was calling himself jaywalking across the street. By the time he crossed the street, they had already identified who he was, went into his bank account, and basically paid the fine. So this is, this is in China, but this is actually going to come over here. You got to remember, China's leading this, and America's actually trying to, the rollout of their system is a little bit slower, but nonetheless, it's going to actually be implemented because the new system will be a digital system. Like they said, I heard information where they said China's pretty much cashless now. That's why you can just go into like the Amazon stores over there. You go into the store, they're pretty much, basically AI driven, period. They don't have actual socialization with actual, like a person or a clerk behind the cash register. They literally, you go in, you grab what you want. The store actually has cameras, and then you walk out, and just that quick, the AI has actually looked and seen what items you grabbed and charged you based on that. So, like I said, this is the new system that they're about to implement, and it's pretty wicked. Let me get a scripture. Book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 25. I'm going to start at verse 24. And his power shall be mighty, but I'm going to start at verse 23, Daniel 8 and 23. And in the later time of their kingdom, when the transgressors are come to the full, a king of fierce countenance and understanding dark sentences shall stand up. Verse 24, his power shall be mighty, but not by his own power. Meaning the Most High is going to put him in that position. And he shall destroy wonderfully and shall prosper and practice and shall destroy the mighty and the holy people. Verse 25, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. And right now, with all these mandates, these laws being passed, and this system being implemented, that's that craft to prosper. He shall magnify himself in his heart. And a precept to that is the book of Ezekiel. Which, hell, the book of Ezekiel, the book of Obadiah, the book of Isaiah. You know what I mean? Like, this man, you should recognize who this man is because of the fact he's the proudest creature on the planet. This red Hebrew Edomite, this red devil is the proudest creation on the planet. You know, that's why he's compared to the eagle, and that's why his symbol is the eagle, because that's a very proud creature as well. You know what I mean? It's the highest flying bird, yet and still it's actually a filthy carnivorous bird as well, though. It says, and by peace shall destroy many. And like I said, these systems that they put in place, you know what I mean? Like I said, based on this system, they're going to be able to, like I said, if you have any kind of discrepancy with the government, you know what I mean, they can stop you from, I mean, it said to actually facial recognition just to go into the supermarket. So, you know, China has a social credit system. If you're not in good standing with the government, you know what I mean, basically you're ostracized out of society. And you don't think that's coming to America? It says, by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but he shall be broken without hand. And that's how proud this devil is. You know what I mean? This devil will try and sweep up under the rug the fact of how he came over to this land and stole it. He didn't discover this. How can you discover something that's actually had people on it before? They will become discovery. You might as well call it for what it was and say you raped, robbed, and pillaged. You know what I mean? And then imagine the pride you got to have to actually try to fight against the Most High. You know, but what the scripture say? It said he shall be broken without hand.
Through facial recognition technology. And in the highly policed province of Xinjiang, facial recognition is used to track Muslim Uyghurs.
There's a rumor that China is the safest country in the world. In Shenzhen, when you walk in the street, you'll see a lot of cameras. It sounds like a police state, right? But in China, if you don't do anything wrong, what do you feel?
Traveling in China has become nearly impossible without the use of QR codes and mobile payment apps. And a future with facial recognition may not be that far off.
一般如果你而家係想用現金嘅話呢，喺一啲小鋪頭嗰度，你攞一張100蚊嘅出嚟，佢甚至冇散紙可以找你。
Is the price of convenience worth the huge loss in privacy? To leave us with some words from the late and great Prince, who gave this speech at the Yahoo Internet Life Awards in 1999.
Don't be fooled by the internet. It's cool to get on the computer, but don't let the computer get on you.
Okay, so I was gonna bring out the article, but there's no point because at the end of the day, it's leading up to basically, you know, that MOB. So I'm gonna end with that scripture. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, starting at verse 14. And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles. Right now, you know, that's a miracle, that technology, to be able to actually access all those different things with that WeChat or WePay or whatever the case may be. Said you could actually, like I said, scan the QR codes and pay for this and book that with the convenience of not really leaving your home. But, you know, at the same time, you're going to give up a lot of privacy for convenience. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, that's what this, you know, this devil, you know, is all about. He wants to be omnipotent. You know what I mean? It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, meaning in this system. You know what I mean? Because it's about to be a one world system. That's why it's a one world order. All these governments around the world are going to have a digital system, a digital surveillance. You know what I mean? Everything's going to be digitized. Saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. And that's, this revised Roman Empire. You know what I mean? Because, at the end of the day, it looked like China's the first ones with this this technology. But basically, you know what I mean? This is a philosophy and a system that Esau's behind. It's not a coincidence that all the countries in the world are actually fighting this pandemic. That you got to have this vaccine, and then the vaccine is interchanging from country to country. You might have some Sputnik 5 over here. You gonna have some Pfizer over there. You know what I mean? Shit, they said the biggest manufacturer of the vaccine is in India. Go figure that. Although the first vaccines got pushed, the first vaccine was pushed out of Russia, the Sputnik 5, but then shortly after that, you had America come with the Pfizer and the Moderna, but it's multiple ones in the States. It says, verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Verse 16, and he caused of all, both small and great, rich and poor. That means people that's average, everyday Joe Schmoes to those that are actually, have prominent positions in the society. Entertainers, musicians, athletes, rich and poor, free, those that are free and those that are, incarcerated, that are property of the state, free and bond to receive a mark, meaning an incision in their right hand or in their foreheads. It's not a coincidence that Elon Musk is talking about he will be actually able to put that neural link in a human being by the end of this year. They was just showing how you got monkeys was basically the next lab experiment that was actually televised, showing a monkey or a primate literally playing Pong with his mind. Verse 17, and that no man buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So at the end of the day, without being a part of this system, without getting that mark, you're not going to be able to buy or sell. Meaning you're not going to be able to function in the society. And, we was just speaking on this recently. You got brothers that's totally in the spirit and like that aren't worried about how many silver coins they got or how much food they got stockpiled, but completely relying on the Lord. And that's the kind of spirit you got to be in, because at the end of the day, you can't put no trust in, anything tangible or anything physically tangible. At the end of the day, what's going to get you through this is going to be your works and your faith in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. So if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole, Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, I implore you to come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua or be destroyed. And with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to call Loyam, La Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushua, Ba'Shem Rachagados Bakatham. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth for faith and sincerity, as well as enriching their lives, as well as their freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this was an edifying video. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but whom subscribe to this truth. To you I say shalom. And until next time I'm able to come with another lesson. Shalom, shalom, and Mawaf Lababah. Shalom.